your practice this evening. If you haven't made your way onto your back yet, you can do so now. And feel free to rest with your legs outstretched or the soles of your feet on the floor. And as you settle into a comfortable position, give yourself a few clearing breaths, inhaling through your nose and sighing out through your mouth. Twice more. Good. And then begin to settle into your own natural breath, sensing the natural rhythm, pace, and quality of your breath. And notice the quality of your body. Notice what you're feeling in your body. And also be kind to yourself. So if you're having any difficulty connecting to what you're feeling in your body, do know that that's quite normal after we've been thinking a lot or been really focused on mind things throughout the day. Breath by breath, invite a sense of greater depth of your inhale into your abdomen and an effortless release of your exhale, softening your outer body. And see if you can just be in that process. In the process of this breath and the next breath and the next. Soften your face, your eyes. Allow your body to soften down to receive the support that's there. Bring some attention to the back of your neck. Allow the back of the neck to begin to soften. And then bring one hand onto your heart and one hand onto your belly. And invite an intention to arise for your practice this evening. Just checking in with yourself and listening for an honest answer to what's most needed to feel safe, to feel connected and present. And then gently relax your arms by your sides and bring the soles of your feet to the floor. And we're just going to start with some gentle arm movements. So turn your palms up and keeping your front ribs kind of moving down toward the floor. You're going to slowly start to reach your arms wide. Any amount, could be to a T, could be a little higher. And then snow angel your arms back down by your sides. And again, sliding the arms up. Keep your hands in contact with the floor and stop when they feel like they want to lift or when you're feeling that you're at your capacity of sensation. And we'll just keep going, breathing naturally, breathing effortlessly as you move. Good, 2 more. Maybe a little higher, turning the thumb side of the hand toward the floor and back down. And now we're going to take the arms just out to a T position or lower if it feels better for you, and turn your palms down and reach through your fingertips and just breathing in, breathing out. And then slowly with an exhale, lift your head any amount, stretching and releasing through the back of the neck. Now this is going to be tricky for a lot of us because we tend to have weak muscles at the front of the neck just from our typical lifestyle. But hold for a breath or 2 more. And then we'll slowly release back down. Release your arms down by your sides, turning the palms up. Good. And now reach your arms straight up toward the ceiling and over your head. Again, noticing whether your front ribs are popping up as you do this, which would be completely understandable. So just soften your front ribs down and only let the arms come up as high as you can with keeping the ribs a little bit more fixed. And then slowly release the arms back down by your sides. And let's do this a couple more times, reaching the arms up and over, really extending and lengthening through the fingers, and then back down by the sides. Good. When your arms are next, relaxing by your sides, pause, turn your palms down, press down through your shoulders, press down through your hands, ground your feet, and with a neutral curve in your lower back, on an exhale, slowly lift your hips as high as you feel comfortable, and on an inhale, lower back down. 3 more rounds, riding the wave of your breath. As you exhale, the pelvis lifts, and as you inhale, the pelvis releases back down. Good. Next time your pelvis is on the floor, one more time, reach your arms wide into a T with your palms down. And we'll lift the head one more time, any amount. You want to be sure that you can fit like a tennis ball between your chin and your chest. So we're not over cranking, but keeping a sense of spaciousness through the front of the neck. Keep breathing. And then slowly lower back down. Good job. Let's relax the arms back by the sides. This time, hug your knees in towards your chest and rock your knees in towards you and away from you a couple of times to find some ease and space in the lower back. Good. The next time you're hugging the knees in, bring your hands together in front of your heart, and if you need, you can use your right arm as a little bit of a break, but we're going to see if we can use the core to roll over onto your right side all as one piece, shoulders and legs at the same time. Ha, good. And then pressing into the left hand, extend your left leg long as you press yourself up. From here, if it feels comfortable for you, you're going to take your right foot to the top of your left knee and take your right hand to the floor and reach your left arm up and over, bending into the right elbow, any amount. Okay. Good. Creating a little bit of space through the side body, and then slowly come back through center. Take your feet in front of you, switch sides. So now your left foot is just at the top of the right thigh. Take your left hand to your side and behind you a little bit, and then stretch your right arm up and over. Good, we'll slowly come back. And then cross your ankles or make your way to tabletop in any way that feels good for you. If you need a blanket under your knees, you're welcome to use it. So we'll start by clawing the fingers down into the mat, getting really present through the hands. And then with an inhale, reach your chest forward. And as you exhale, round your spine, gazing inward. A few more times. Inhale, stretch your chest forward, and exhale, round your spine. Good. So the key is to connect with your own natural breath. And when you're next rounding your spine, pause and see if you can direct some breath and some attention into the back body. Let's take it back into neutral tabletop position and slowly send your seat back towards your heels into child's pose. So the hands are still firmly grounding. The outer shoulders soften down a little bit so that the sides of the neck feel spacious. And the head relaxes down. 3 cycles of mindful breath. Good. On your next natural inhale, come back through table. And as you exhale, step your right foot forward, tuck your left toes if it feels comfortable. And we'll just start to send the hips forward as much as you feel comfortable while keeping a little bit of a sense of lift of the low belly. So we're not overstretching, but stretching with an inner support. Get long through the back of the neck, breathe. And then slowly, as you're ready, start to bring your right leg towards a straightened position. Hands can come to blocks or books, or you can bend your knee a little bit more, or you can elevate yourself, place your hands on your right thigh, and work the pose that way. See if you can feel for the breath flowing generously into the torso, softening through the neck, the shoulders. Good. And then we'll slowly rebend your front leg and plant your hands, come back to tabletop position. Take a breath in, reaching the chest forward. As you breathe out, send your hips back towards your heels. This time, wrap your arms behind your back, palm on top of palm. And with an inhale, rise into a high kneel. Slow and steady, reach through your fingertips. As you exhale, bring your hands behind your back, fingers pointing down or up if you've got flexibility in your wrists. And then think about hugging the 2 sides of your waist toward one another, and then floating your heart, floating your collarbones upward. Good, we'll slowly release. Reach your arms wide and up one more time, and then bow forward again. again, slow and steady. Come forward into a tabletop position, and then step your left foot forward. Tuck your right toes. Create a little bit of sense of lifting the base of your pelvis to support you as you stretch. So what we're looking for is that your back leg is back enough that you're feeling a little sensation of opening through the front of the hip. If the knee is too far forward, you might not feel this as much. So make any adjustments that you need, and then receive 2 more breaths. Begin to walk your hands back towards you as you straighten your left leg or bring it towards straight. And then choose to keep your hands on the floor, on blocks, or again, the more elevated position. So we're looking for how this feels not only at the back of the leg, but also through the lower back. Feeling for that. What's gonna serve me best through my whole body, not just in that hamstring muscle that might feel a little bit cranky. We'll slowly start to rebend the front leg. Bring hands back to the floor, back to the tabletop position. Reach your chest forward on an inhale. One more time. As you exhale, seat to heels, arms behind your back. On an inhale, rise up tall. Reach through the fingertips. Feel the length between your pelvis and your ribs. So we're going to keep lifting the ribcage away from the pelvis as you bring your hands onto your lower back, any way that feels comfortable. And we'll just keep this lift as you start to lift and broaden your collarbones, gazing maybe just slightly up with a sense of lightness through the back of the neck. And then slowly rising, reaching the arms up, bow forward, come back through table, walk your hands forward, one hand print, tuck your toes once again, and you can choose to send your hips back in puppy pose this time, or press the floor away, pressing your arms straight, and lift your hips into a down dog. So let your focus really be the length of the spine and the feeling of space in the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders and the neck. So you want to wrap the outer shoulders back just a little, and then bend the knees as much as you need to feel that you can really get long through the sides of the body, just like we did a moment ago. Pressing the tops of the thighs back. And then we'll slowly start to trace the gaze forward. Walk your feet forward any number of steps. Ground your feet, bring your hands onto your thighs with bent knees. Press yourself up halfway and rise all the way up tall. Feel your feet on the floor. Fan your toes wide. Sense that as you press the earth away, there's a rebound of energy up the legs and up through the spine. Give yourself 2 breaths here, connecting with the feeling of movement in the belly as you breathe. So even though we're holding ourselves tall and holding ourselves high, we're also receptive to the breath. Ground your feet with an inhale. Reach your arms upward. As you exhale, bend your knees, fold your body forward. Inhale, stretch your chest forward, place your hands on your shins. Sense that all sides of the neck are equally long as you just broaden across your collarbones. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly allow the hands to return to the floor. This time we're going to step back into a modified plank pose. So clawing through the fingers, you're going to have a diagonal line from your shoulders to your knees. And then slowly start to bend your elbows toward the back corners of your mat. You can keep your diagonal or roll your thighs, hips, belly, and chest down to the floor. Ground from your pelvis through the tops of the feet. Grow longer through the legs. And then longer through the spine as you reach your chest forward and up. Broad across the collarbones. As you exhale, lower back down. And then tuck your toes. Wait for your next exhale to sigh out through your mouth as you press the floor away, back to your table, and into puppy pose or down dog. Slowly bend your right leg a little bit if you're in down dog, and if you're not, that's fine. You can stay with knees on the floor. And then slowly bend your left leg a little bit, straightening through the right leg. And now continue to alternately bend and straighten as you walk the feet forward one more time. Ground your feet, bend your knees. This time, reach your crown forward, bring your arms by your sides. Press down into the feet as you inhale, rise up tall. And then bring your palms to touch and your hands back to your heart. Good. Let's take a breath in, reaching the arms up. And now this time, take a hold of your right wrist. And as you exhale, side bend towards your left. Let's take a breath in back through center. Twice more. Exhale, side bend towards your left. Actively side bending. Breathing in back through center. Breathing out, side bend. Soften through your face and your shoulders. And then slowly come back through center. And relax your arms down by your sides. Good. Take your arms wide. Bring your palms to face forward and arms into goal post or cactus. And then turn your palms back behind you. And you can either fist bump yourself or take reverse prayer hands. Okay. From here, just gonna press the hands together. Keep your front ribs moving down and the chest broadening. If internal rotation does not feel great for your shoulders, then you can even simply bring your hands onto your hips for the last couple of breaths if you're finding that's not helpful for you. All right, let's release slowly once again, grounding through the feet to reach the arms up. Take a hold of your left wrist. Breathing in, grow a little taller. As you exhale, side bend towards your right. On an inhale, back through center. As you exhale, side bend once again. Take a breath in, back through center. Last time, exhaling, side bend. And then on an inhale, back through center. And as you exhale, release your arms wide. Breathing in, reach your arms up, growing tall. As you exhale, bend your knees. Fold your body forward, hinging from the pelvis, and allow the spine to soften over your thighs. Allow your head to hang heavy for a few moments. And you might even just want to allow the hands to relax in any way onto the floor. So you want to focus more now on bending the knees and letting the spine release rather than straightening and trying to get a good stretch in the hamstrings. Good, let's ground the hands once again. This time, step your right foot back, lower your right knee to the floor. Stretch your legs long, and on an inhale, reach your arms up. Outer left hip hugging back. And feeling, again, the sense that you're supported by your core and still able to breathe spaciously. Notice where you might be holding or gripping. Sometimes it can be around the face or the shoulders. See if you can soften a little, give yourself a little wiggle if you need. Good. And then from here, we'll bring the hands together in front of the heart. Take a breath in. As you exhale, rotate your ribcage towards your left. Good. And then from here, you can stay or open your arms wide. Stay here, or you can bring your right hand to your left knee and your opposite hand onto your lower back, or you can lower your right hand to the floor and reach your left arm up. 3 more breaths. Good. With your next exhale, release your left hand down. Step back into a modified plank or a full plank if you choose. Your lower back is gently curving in. The chest is broad, long from heels to crown. Good. Let's all lower to the knees. Bend the elbows toward the back of your mat. Roll your thighs, hips, belly, and chest toward the floor. Grow longer through your legs, stretching the toes back. And then on an inhale, rise into cobra, chest reaching forward, tops the shoulders, softening down the back. Slowly lower back down. Wait for your next exhale and use the power of your exhale to press yourself away from the floor through table and then into puppy pose or down dog, if down dog is your choice. 2 full breaths here. Rise or lower into table if you're in down dog. Step your right foot forward. Left toes tucked if you feel comfortable with that. And then with an inhale, rise into Anjaneyasana, crescent pose. So we're gonna, again, think about that little bit of a lift of the base of the pelvis to support your lower back. But the lower back is curving, so we don't need to undo that. It's just a little bit of support as we reach up. Breathing. And then bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Take a lengthening breath in. As you exhale, rotate your ribcage towards your right. Stay here or extend the arms. And then stay here or take any variation that I offered last time. Left hand to right knee, right hand onto the back, or you can bring your left fingers to the floor and extend your right arm up. Think about rotating from your navel. Okay, let's slowly come out. Reach your arms up and release your hands back down. Step forward into a forward fold. Bring your hands onto bent knees. Press yourself up partway, and then slowly rise all the way up tall. Turn your feet towards the right edge of your mat and take a wide step. As wide as you feel steady and comfortable here. From here, rotate your whole right leg out, all the way down to your foot, and let your left heel turn out just slightly. And then we're gonna bend into the right leg while keeping the back leg present and strong. And with an inhale, slowly open your arms out into warrior 2. Take a soft gaze towards your right fingertips. Breathing in, breathing out. And then from here, bring your right leg towards straight. Release your hands down. Keep your front ribs moving back towards your spine, so you're feeling full through the back body now. As you start to send your hips up and back, sliding your right hand down your right thigh. You can wrap your left arm around your back and place either the back of the hand on the back or take the hand to the hip crease if you can reach. And then think about lengthening the back of the neck and kind of leaning back. The gaze can come towards the floor or up toward the ceiling. Take a moment to notice what your body is needing and what's going to create the most freedom for you. Good. Pressing through the feet now. With your next natural inhale, you're going to slowly start to bend into your right leg as you glide your right arm up toward the ceiling. Leaning back slightly, you can release your bind or keep it if you like it. Reach a little more through the hand. Keep the front ribs softening down. And then we'll come back into warrior two. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Bring your right leg to a straightened position. Rotate your feet toward one another, and then step your feet together. Nice work. Feel your feet on the floor. And we'll slowly now ground into the heels. Send your hips back. So think about, again, there's going to be a little curve in the lower back, which is good. You're going to keep the front ribs just slightly moving in. And also feel like you're zipping the two sides of your lower belly toward one another. From here, let's reach the arms forward. Sit low, reach forward. And then if you choose, for another couple breaths, you can reach the arms as high as feels comfortable for the shoulders and the low back. Reaching through the pinkies, kind of wrapping the triceps in toward one another. Slowly bring your hands back to heart center as you straighten through your legs. Let's take the feet wide once again. This time, wrap your left thigh down all the way down to your toes. Let your right leg turn in a little bit. Get stronger and longer through the right leg as you bend into the left knee. And then open your arms wide. And sense really the strength and the inner fortitude of your body. So your ability here to really support yourself and to stay in the present moment, whether you're feeling a sense of challenge or whether you're feeling a sense of ease. But use your mind to cultivate a little bit more sense of softening into the pose. Good. Let's slowly bring your front leg towards straight. Release the hands down. Start to slide the hips up and back slightly. Notice you want to keep the underside of your torso long. And then you can choose to reach your top arm up or take your bind like you did on the other side. Finding a sense of length through both sides of the neck. Soften your face. And experience this pose. Experience the way that you're interacting with yourself in this pose. Good. Keeping the arm bind or releasing it. Bend into your left leg and slowly glide your left arm up, effortlessly, gracefully into warrior two. Or sorry, reverse warrior. Ha! And then we'll slowly come back into warrior. Bring your palms to touch. Bring your left leg to straight. Turn your feet in toward one another. From here, you're going to bring your hands onto your hips and start to just slide your hands down your thighs. As you lengthen your torso forward, start to bend your knees. And it's like you're trying to move your seat back as your head softens toward the floor. If this feels like too much on the lower back, you want to just elevate your hands a little bit more onto blocks. So you have the choice of bending the knees and allowing the spine to round and the head to relax down. But if this is bringing any sensation of strain to the low back, you want to elevate yourself and perhaps even lift your hands onto even a chair or blocks or something. Ground into the outer edges of your feet. Breathe. And then we'll walk hands back. forward or back from wherever you are under the shoulders. Bring your hands onto your legs once again. On an exhale, press into your feet to slowly rise back up tall. Good. Hands to hips. Take your feet back together. And then step to the front of your mat. On an inhale, sweep your arms wide enough. As you exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Take a breath in, reaching the chest forward. As you breathe out, plank pose. So on knees or off knees. Good. Let's actually all come to knees here. Claw through your fingertips, keep broadening across the chest, and then extend your right leg long, straightening through the leg, and hold and breathe. Slowly lower back down. Send your seat back towards your heels in child's pose. Rise back through table. Walk your hands forward until you found your plank shape, diagonal from shoulders to knees. And then, keeping the sides of the waist hugging, extend your left leg long. Reach back through the heel. Sense your arms as strong columns of strength. Strong columns of strength. That's a lot of strength. Okay, let's slowly lower back to the knees and come back to child's pose once again. Okay. From child's pose, let your knees be just wider than your torso. So there's a feeling here of a little bit of support for the abdomen. And then we're going to walk your arms over towards your left. Both arms over towards the left. If your head needs more support, you can bend your left arm and place your forehead on your forearm or on fist. Good. Let's slowly re-extend both arms and walk back through center. And then over to the other side. And again, slowly back through center. And this time we'll walk the hands back towards you. And if you need to just come out of the bent knee position for a little bit and shimmy around, you're welcome to do that. And you can stay in this position as you turn your fingers diagonally. I should show you this way. Turn your fingers diagonally toward the back corners of your mat. And then start to send your hips back a little. And if you have the flexibility and it feels okay, we're going to turn the fingers back towards you a little bit more. And you can just play with this. The hips don't have to sit back. You can walk the hands forward or back as much as you need, just adjusting the sensation here. If anyone was working on a computer today or any day or holding children, I don't know if you still hold 15-year-old children, but any of these activities, you might be feeling this in your wrists. Okay, let's slowly come on back, release your hands, and we're going to do the opposite now. So sit your hips back as much as you feel comfortable. If you need a block under your knees, you can take that, and we're just going to let the backs of the hands come to the floor. And you're pressing through the thumb side of the hand now. The way the body is made, everything is so that sometimes even tightness down through the forearms and wrists can influence um, the health of the shoulder joint because of all the fascial connections in the body. So it's important to kind of get into some of these places that we don't often address. Let's release the hands and just shake it out a little bit. Good. All right. And then we'll slowly make our way to a seated position with legs extended long. So you may wish to have a folded blanket under your hips for this one. Good. I'm going to give you the option to do a butterfly pose with the soles of the feet together. Or you can, if it feels better for you, extend your legs. You can bend your knees a little bit or place some pillows or something under your knees or blocks if you have them. But what we're really looking for, I'll show you from the side, is that rather than the pelvis sagging back, that we're able to lift ourselves high as we prepare for the pose. So find the orientation that works for you. I'm going to choose cobbler's pose. And start to think about just moving your navel forward and then bringing hands onto your shins. And you could just stay here, sitting up tall, or you might explore slowly folding forward. Breathing in, breathing out, and notice in this orientation of the body where your breath is. Where in your body is the breath prominent? And where is it feeling stuck? And sometimes it can be tricky to direct breath into the back body, but that's the invitation, just to work breath by breath on trying to create a little bit more freedom and softening through the back body. Let's now just place hands on the floor and use your hands to press yourself up if you've lowered, and then slowly make your way back. Let's take the knees together and extend the legs long, crossing your left foot to the outside of the right knee. And if you wish, keep the leg extended or slide your foot back towards your left hip. Interlace your fingers and then place your hands on your knee. And we're just going to start to pull the knee in toward the chest and think about pulling the hands apart to rotate the spine. The chin can stay aligned with your breastbone, or you can rotate your gaze back behind you. Good. Take a breath in to unwind. And then we'll slowly re-extend the legs long. You can wiggle it out a little bit before heading over to the other side. I just want to also address in this pose as you're making your way into it. So you can, if it felt good on the other side and it's feeling good here, please feel free to continue interlacing the hands and think about pulling the hands apart as you rotate. If you're feeling any congestion at the front of your right hip, then you can keep the right foot wide, extend the left leg. Actually, it would be this way. and twist in that way and see if that helps. Okay, so it'd be the opposite leg that you're working with. Good. Take another breath or two. And then when you're ready, with an in-breath, allow the spine, torso to unwind back to center. Take a moment to keep your legs extended, flex your feet back towards you. And as you do so, we're gonna think about engaging through the quadricep muscles as you sit up tall, creating some strength in the quads. And then we'll slowly let the feet point for a little bit, and maybe just pointing and flexing the feet a couple times. And you can feel the wobble all the way up into your pelvis. Okay. From here, I'm going to ask you to make your way over to a wall. So if you have your folded blanket, you might want to take that, or a bolster. I think if you're somebody that doesn't tend to love back bends, then you may not want a bolster for this. But I'm going to kind of show you, I guess, against this wall. You're going to bring your seat, I'll show you from behind, close to the wall. Have your folded blanket situated so that it's kind of right behind your pelvis, and then lean onto your left side and roll yourself onto your prop, extending the legs up the wall. Your hips do not have to touch the wall. They can if you are very free in your hamstrings, but what you want is for your support, if you've chosen to use it, to feel as though it's really supporting the natural curve of your lower back. So if your blanket is too low, that will kind of push the lower back toward the floor. We want the blanket to be high enough that it feels like it's really supporting kind of the flat part at the back of the pelvis, and then up into the low back a little bit. Okay, so take a moment to get yourself comfortable, because that is the point of this, is absolute comfort. So as you settle in, you want to feel for, do I need just maybe the thinnest layer of extra cushioning under the head? Especially if the hips are elevated, you want to probably not have too much under the head. You want to maintain, again, that feeling of space, that you could fit a small apple between your chin and chest. And then also check in and see, how is my lower back? How are my shoulders? The arms can come into a cactus position, or the arms can relax by your sides, or hands can come to belly. And then you want to see, how are my legs? And if there's an intense feeling of stretch at the backs of the legs, you may wish to let go of that. You may wish to micro bend the knees, or move yourself away from the wall just a little bit. And then settle. What does it feel like physically to settle, to let go, and to be in fully a place of stillness and quiet? And if your mind is not feeling quiet, then find a resting place for your mind. In yoga, we call that an alambana. It's a resting place, or an inner support for the mind. we'll be here for another 3 minutes or so. So continue to soften more. And if you feel that you need to change at any point, give yourself permission to do that. The beauty of this pose is that we don't need to do anything to receive the benefits. It's this pose that we just put ourselves in the physical orientation, we breathe, and we accept the benefits of calming and easing the nervous system. If you're feeling very supported and would like to stay in this pose for your final Shavasana, your final resting pose, you're welcome to do so. Or you can make any subtle adjustments, any subtle shifts. Or if you prefer to rest flat on your back, you can start to bring your knees in towards your chest and roll off to one side. Maybe rest for a moment before settling in to a position lying flat on your back. Possibly with a blanket under the head. If you have pillows or a bolster or blocks, you might rest them under your knees. And give yourself a few moments to optimize your physical pose for comfort. Give yourself permission to wiggle a little bit. And allow your hands to either rest palms up or in any position that feels most supportive for you right now. Connect with the flow of your breath. Notice in this moment if there's any difference in how you're feeling, the quality of your body, your mind, and breath than when you started an hour ago. Sense the crown of your head softening. Your forehead. Sense the back of your head relaxing down. Soften your right eye, left eye, right temple, and left temple. Your right ear and left ear. Invite softening to your jaw, your mouth, your tongue, your throat and your neck. Your right shoulder joint and left shoulder joint. Your right arm all the way down through your fingers. And your left arm. The right side of your chest. And the left side of your chest. The right side of your belly and waist. And the left side of your belly and waist. Your right hip. Your left hip. Your right leg all the way down to the tips of your toes. And your left leg down to the tips of your toes. Be aware of both legs at the same time. Both arms at the same time. Be aware of the right side of your body and the left side of your body. Sense the back side of your body and the front side of your body. And then be with each moment as though it's the only moment. Now aware of your whole body and your breath in the body. Also become aware of the other people who are around you, maybe in your home, and aware of the other people who are sharing this practice with you. And you may wish to take a moment to just send out a loving blessing to any or all of those people. And then to yourself, mentally repeat, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free from suffering, may I be filled with loving presence. Slowly begin to bring a little bit of movement to the body and bring your feet to the floor eventually, and the knees in towards your chest, giving yourself a little hug. You might hold this hug for a few breaths, inhaling and exhaling. And then when you're ready, you can make your way up to a seated position via a side lying position if it's comfortable for you, or by pressing yourself up in any way that is most comfortable. And meet me in a seated position. Let the eyes close for a few moments more as you bring your hands together at your heart center. Thank you for being here with me and sharing this practice with me. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.